Imagine you're walking along a field on a quiet afternoon, just scanning the ground with your metal detector. Suddenly, you get a signal, a strong one. You start to dig and your shovel hits something hard. You clear away the earth and find a few old, green-tinged coins. You're thrilled, of course, a great find. But what if you kept digging, and those few coins turned into a few hundred, then a few thousand? And then you realize you've stumbled upon something monumental, a treasure so vast it feels unreal. This isn't a fantasy. This is exactly what happened to Reg Mead and Richard Miles on the island of Jersey, one of the Channel Islands nestled between Britain and France. For decades, they had heard whispers and local legends about a stash of Celtic coins buried somewhere on the island. A farmer had supposedly found some back in the 1950s, but the exact location was lost to time. Fueled by this local lore, Reg and Richard spent over 30 years searching, patiently sweeping fields with their detectors, hoping to uncover this piece of history. Then, in 2012, their persistence paid off in a way they could never have imagined. After getting that first strong signal and unearthing a small handful of silver coins, they knew they were onto something big. They called in archaeologists, and what followed was an excavation that would rewrite history. As the team carefully dug deeper, they uncovered not just a pot of coins, but a massive, solidified block of earth and metal. It was so heavy, it had to be lifted out of the ground with a crane. This colossal lump, weighing over a ton, was taken to a lab for meticulous examination. And inside, piece by piece, an astonishing secret was revealed. The block contained an estimated 70,000 Celtic and Roman coins, all fused together with clay and corrosion over 2 millennia. This incredible find was named the Lee Kytellen II Hoard, and it is the largest collection of Celtic coins ever discovered. But this treasure is so much more than just a pile of ancient money. It's a time capsule, a snapshot of a moment of pure panic and desperation. So, who buried all this wealth, and why did they never come back for it? To answer that, we need to journey back in time, over 2,000 years ago, to the 1st century BC. The world was in turmoil. The Roman Republic, led by the ambitious and ruthless General Julius Caesar, was expanding its empire. Caesar had set his sights on conquering Gaul, a vast territory that included modern-day France, Belgium, and parts of surrounding countries. The people living there were a collection of Celtic tribes, often referred to as the Gauls. They were fierce warriors, skilled craftsmen, and had a rich culture of their own. One of these tribes was the Coriasalite, who lived in the region of Brittany, just across the water from the island of Jersey. As Caesar's legions marched across Gaul, they brought war and devastation. Towns were sacked and entire populations were displaced. The Celtic tribes fought back bravely, but they were often disorganized and outmatched by the disciplined Roman army. In 56 BC, a major naval battle took place off the coast of Brittany. Caesar's fleet clashed with the combined forces of the maritime Celtic tribes, including the Coriasalite. The Romans emerged victorious, crushing the Celtic resistance in the region. This defeat would have sent shockwaves of fear throughout the coastal communities. It was a clear signal that the Romans were coming and nothing could stop them. It's in this climate of absolute terror that scholars believe the Lee Kytellen II Hoard was buried. Imagine being a member of the Coriasalite tribe. You hear news of the Roman victory. Your neighbors, your allies, have been defeated. You know, it's only a matter of time before Caesar's soldiers arrive at your own doorstep. Panic sets in. What do? You gather everything you hold dear, everything of value. The hoard isn't just coins. Mixed in with the tens of thousands of silver and gold alloy coins, archaeologists also found precious gold torques, which were neck rings worn by high-status individuals, as well as silver bracelets, and even delicate pieces of fabric and organic material preserved against the metal. This tells us it wasn't just one wealthy person's savings. The sheer scale and variety of the treasure suggests that an entire community, or perhaps several communities, pooled their collective wealth together. This was their life savings, their family heirlooms, their entire treasury. They packed it all into a deep pit they dug in a field, a place they hoped would be safe, a place they could find again. The act of burying it was an act of hope. They weren't abandoning their fortune, they were protecting it. The plan was simple: hide the treasure, flee from the approaching Roman danger, and once the coast was clear, return to reclaim their lives and their wealth. They would have told their children stories of the spot, passed down markers and memories, ensuring the treasure's location would not be forgotten. But they never came back. Not a single person. What happened to them? The historical record is silent on their specific fate, but we can make some educated guesses. They may have been captured by Roman soldiers, sold into slavery, or killed in the conflicts that continued to rage across Gaul. Perhaps they managed to escape, but were never able to safely return to Jersey. Or maybe disease or famine, common in the aftermath of war, claimed them before they had a chance. Whatever the reason, their story ended, and their secret treasure lay dormant beneath the soil. For centuries, farmers plowed the fields above it, completely unaware of the fortune just a few feet below. Generations came and went. The Roman Empire rose and fell. The island of Jersey changed hands between England and France. And all the while, the coins waited. The process of excavating the hoard is a monumental task in itself. It's not like a pirate chest you can just flip open. The coins, soil, and artifacts have fused into a single, solid mass. Archaeologists are using cutting-edge technology, including 3D scanning and X-rays, to map the block before they even begin to take it apart. Then, with painstaking precision, they are separating each individual coin and artifact one by one. It's a process that is expected to take many more years to complete. Each coin they free from the mass is a piece of the puzzle. The coins themselves are beautiful works of art. They don't feature the realistic portraits of Roman emperors. Instead, they are decorated with stylized, almost abstract designs, swirling patterns, disjointed horses, and symbolic representations of their gods and mythology. These designs are unique to the Coriosolitae and other Celtic tribes, giving us a direct link to their culture and artistic expression. The hoard is also a treasure trove of information. By studying the composition of the metals, experts can learn about the tribe's economy and trade networks. By analyzing the wear and tear on the coins, they can understand how money circulated in their society. And by mapping the exact position of each object within the hoard, they can learn about the moments leading up to its burial. Was it packed in a hurry? Was it placed in bags or containers that have since rotted away? Every detail matters. The discovery of the Le Catelyn II hoard is a poignant reminder of the human cost of war. It's easy to read about historical events like Caesar's Gallic Wars as a series of dates and battles. But this treasure brings the story to life in a deeply personal way. It represents the hopes and fears of thousands of real people who loved their families, valued their possessions, and dreamed of a future that was stolen from them. They buried their world in a field, hoping to one day dig it back up, but instead, they left behind a legacy that would captivate us 2,000 years later. So, the next time you see a picture of an ancient coin, remember the story it might hold. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a connection to the past, a symbol of a life lived, and sometimes a heartbreaking story of a treasure that was never reclaimed. The work on the Le Catelyn II hoard continues, and with every new discovery, we learn more about the lost community that left it all behind. It's a story of incredible wealth, profound loss, and the enduring power of history waiting just beneath our feet. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into incredible historical discoveries. See you next time.